Codasteroid.
So hello guys, today's episode we'll continue working on our bash terminal series. So I've learned some new commands these last days and I decided to share with you this as well. So one of these commands can be very helpful, as programmers, and the first one I will share with you today is the locate command. So locate command, maybe it's not accessed already on your Ubuntu distribution because I've installed this with sudo apt install mlocate. So you can use this command to install mlocate and start using locate command to find files on your system. Okay, so what locate do, as I said, it is going to find the path to the file on your system. Let's say I can type just locate and the name of the file or just parts of that name, right? And the system will give me any path that contains that name in it. So let's say I will look for something like, image, for example, in my system. So if I put image in that way and set locate image, you can see here I have a lot of paths or a lot of files that contains the name image in it. So you can see here we have Linux image 5.13. We have so many paths to any path that contains image name inside of it. But let's make this a little bit exact. Let's make it in a row and set just image.md, for example. Oh, sorry, here I forget locate, so let's just clear this and say image.md. So if I do this, you can see I have just 3 paths because I specified the file extension and make it more, in a row. So you can see here we have 3 paths. So we have a file called image.md inside home directory, another one called image.md as well inside music directory, and this one also has, the image name called image, but also has an extension .md, you see. But, the most important thing to see that the exact name inside this file name as well. That's why you see it printed on the terminal as well. So another command that I will show you today as well is something that we'll use as well. It's very similar to locate command, but this one is only used for commands. So this one is called which command. So which command is going to find, or let's say it's going to check if the command you want to use is installed on your system or not. So let's say which, and let's give any command like, for example, call. So call, as you know, is a command that displays or prints the calendar on your terminal. So if I say just cal in that way, you can see the calendar with what the date is, of course, 24 May, right? So if I said which call, I want to make sure if this command is installed on my computer or my system, sorry. So you can say just which call, and you can see it's inside user bin directory. I can do the same as well with cat command, and you can see as well as install. Let's choose any random command, and let's say lu or something. Doesn't exist, so we don't get anything here. That means the command is not installed. So let's move to another command, which is what is. So what is command is very helpful. So it will define the usage of every command you want to use. So what is command, according to the name, it's what is. So what the command is used for. So let's say, for example, I want to see, what cat command is doing. So what cat command is used for, of course. So as you know, it's to read the file. And you can see here it concatenate files and print on the standard output. You can do the same, for example, with mkdir, that will create new directory or make new directories, of course. Similar to touch command to create a new file, just change file timestamps. But that's how things work. And we can use, as well, the last command we use, cal. So this one displays a calendar and the date of Easter. So that's for the what is command. So if you don't know exactly what command is doing, just type what is and put the name of that command to understand the usage of it. Okay, great. So that's for clear command. So what if we want to ask for help and we don't want to use our web browser? So we want just to see, let's say we want to do something with our system and we don't know the exact command to do that thing, but maybe we know exactly the topic that related to this command. So here, let's say for example, we want to do something related to time on our system, but we don't know the exact command we need to do that thing related to time. So here we can use a command called apropos. This command will help us, type just the topic we want to deal with on our system, that we want to use it for something, to do for our system. Let's say we want to deal with something with time. We need to command that deals with time, and let's say here apropos time, for example. You can see here we have so many commands that deals with time. So we can use, for example, r time to get time for a remote machine. We can use something like, you can see every command related to time. Time here, it runs programs and summarizes some resource usage. You can see here time tz name, times are named to initialize time conversion information and more. So just type, so let's say, let's make sure of it. Let's say, apropos file. I don't know if that will work. You can see here we have also the same. So you can see x, it's at force. It's here all commands related to files. You can use this command to search for compressed files for regular expression. So look how many commands we have that related to files, right? And that's it. So we can also use let's do the same with I think you get the idea of what apropos command is used for. But let's say calendar, for example. You can see we have calendar and encall commands. So that's all about apropos command. But also we have another one that also help us to get additional help, and this command is called man. It stands for manual. So maybe you got it. It displays the manual of, let's say a documentation of every command on your system, but not every command. So here you can see we have man, and okay, we can just press enter to read more about this manual page. So you can see here we have ls command. It has also it has a manual. We also have -a, we have -l. So every command has a manual. So let's press Q to quit, and let's do something like man ls. You can see here we have a manual for ls commands. So we can use -a, uppercase, alter, -b, b in uppercase. So you see here everything related to ls command. Let's do the same with command. I don't know if this has a manual. Of course, it has a manual as well. I can do the same as well with remove directory to see if I can. Yeah, that looks great. So I think not every command has a manual. Let's try city. You see no manual entry for city command. I think the same as well for let's say cal. Of course, cal has a command as well, but that's it. So man gives, you can display with man command, the manual page, almost of the most commands on your system in general, but not all commands, right? So that's all for, yeah. I forget one command, it's called history. I don't know if I discussed this before. History displays the history of commands you used on your system. So you can see here how you can just see, history that I used just now, and see clear history, man city. So you can, go back to every command used just by pressing the up, the up arrow key on your keyboard, and you can see here, if you forget about, what you typed or the command that you typed before, you can just, press the up arrow key, and just, we don't need to do any copy and paste, but just, pro and see all the commands. But also you can press, the opposite key to get back to, from last or from previous to the last commands. So that's all for today's episode. I'm still going to share with you more commands as I learn the new ones. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Codasteroid.